love bugs. Welcome to my channel. Let's discuss with author L.A. Logan. On today, I'm going to take you on a video vlog with me as I go out to vote. I want to share my experience with you. We're going to see how long the lines are, see if anybody's out there standing guard. Just going to hopefully dispel some myths about voting and talk to you a little bit about why I think it's important to vote. So, are you ready to get into it? I know I am. Let's discuss. Okay, guys, so I am leaving my house and I still have not went to Best Buy or wherever to find a what am I trying to say? I haven't found something to put in my car to hold my phone. A stand. I can't think of what the proper name of it is right now. So I'm using my little makeshift stand that I made out of a selfie stick and a water bottle. And I know I could have went on Amazon and probably ordered something, but I kind of want to look at it because I don't know what to order exactly. I need a little bit of help with that. But if someone out there knows, can give me some suggestions on some things that I could possibly order from Amazon, please let me know, because I do want to really start vlogging more in my car, because I am starting to move around just a little bit more. I know that the Rona is still out there, but so I'm on my way to early vote, and I usually try to early vote whenever there's an election cycle, just because I don't want to wait till the last minute, because I feel like the lines are be crazy. Although when we had our primary elections, I did vote on the actual day, but I went the first thing in the morning, like before I went to work, and I actually didn't have a long period to wait, so that kind of worked out. But I truly do believe in voting. You know, when I think about what my great grandparents had to go through, and even my grandparents, you know, had to go through, because let's not be confused. It wasn't that long ago that African Americans could not vote, and then there was a period of time when women could not vote. So me being a woman and being an African American woman, I definitely feel like it is my duty to vote. Not just my right, but it is my duty to vote, because I feel like if I don't take advantage of it, I'm slapping the people in the face who went through God only knows to make this possible for me. So yeah, I'm on my way to vote, and I try to encourage people to vote no matter which way you're voting. It's, you know, it's a privilege to vote. It's, you know, your right to vote, and you should be more involved with what's going on in your cities, your state, and on the national level. I have a confession to make. Usually when I would vote for years and years and years and years, I would just go in and vote straight down the card. I wouldn't know anything about the candidates half the time. I would not even know about some of the gosh, I can't think of the proper name of it, but some of the things that are on the ballot that they want you to vote either yes or no. I hope you guys can see me okay, because I'm telling you this, I got this set up so ghetto if you only could see it. But I used to just vote that way. You know, I didn't know anything about what was going on. Didn't even try to find out. But this time around, the primaries and now, I made it my business to go out and research who I was voting for and what amendments, that's the word I think I'm looking for, the amendments that were on the ballot, I hope that's the right word, what they really mean and how I really feel about it. So I did a lot of research this time around, and I feel more confident than ever about my vote. Only thing is I don't know if I have it all committed to memory, so I wrote down the way I wanted to vote for each thing on a post-it note, and I'm hoping that I can use that while I'm inside my little ballot thing voting. But anyway, I encourage you have plenty of time to do that. Depending on where you're at, your early voting may or may not have started. And if it did start, it just started within, I say, the past week or so. So research the candidates in your district. Find out what they are about and what they plan to do once they get into office. Like, which way are they thinking? And you may find that, like me, you may have at one point voted all the way down the ballot, but you might find that you may not agree with, some of the things that they want to do. So I strongly encourage you to do that. Because, you want to vote, but you want to also vote the right way, or you'll end up with a situation kind of like in Kentucky, where I don't think people were really paying attention to who they were voting for. I could be wrong, but I think I've already talked about that on a vlog, how I feel about that whole situation. And so we're not going to talk about that right now, because we're talking about voting. Do you know when your primaries are? Do you know when the primaries are in your city? And do you know who you're voting for and why you are voting for them? Not only are you voting, but do you know why you're voting for them? I know personally, I don't like the divide that's going on in the country. I have friends of all nationalities, and I have people that I know, or at least I thought I knew, until the recent craziness that's just been going on. And I'm really starting to realize that people either don't realize their thoughts and beliefs are offensive, or they don't care that their thoughts and beliefs are offensive, that this is just the way that they are. I think I've mentioned this before, that, when I was younger, I would hear my grandparents say things about other races that I, even as a child, thought, that's just mean. Why would you say that? And I know that's because as a child, you're innocent and you don't know anything about hate or have had that type of an experience, or you haven't recognized that you've had that type of an experience. And so it wasn't until I got older that I fully understood why my grandparents made some of the comments and statements that they made, and it was because of experiences that they've had with those races. So we really need to try to get to know each other and love each other. It's just like our Sunday school lesson that we just had this past week. I just realized I made the wrong turn, guys. Sorry. Talking about loving your neighbor, and your neighbor is not just the people that you like, or that are in the same class as you, or the same color as you. That is not who your neighbor is. Your neighbor is even that person that you do not care for, that has a problem with you, or you may very well have some issues with them, but you still got to love them. Because one thing is for sure, if you do believe in, okay, I'm getting ready to make a really illegal turn, but hey. If you believe that there is a heaven and that there is a God, if you're trying to go to heaven, guess what? It's going to be all kinds of different folks up there. It's not going to be a heaven for just your group of folks that you know. It doesn't work like that. So, okay, guys. We're getting ready to pull into, I just need to find a parking space. There is definitely a line. I can't gauge at the moment how long it is, but it looks like it is pretty lengthy. Yeah, it's pretty lengthy. But hopefully, now don't let long lines deter you. If you're going to do early voting, you need to have some time to wait, because it's not going to be a fast process. And you know, in some areas, some states, they are doing this on purpose to deter people, to deter people from voting, to be discouraged because of how long the lines are. And you don't want that to be you. You want your vote to count. So you can see these folks standing out here, all the signs. Hopefully, see the cars, and oh, you might get to see the line as I'm circling around trying to find a parking space, although I thought I saw some closer to where you exit. But here's the line, guys. Actually, it's not too bad. I've seen worse. But one thing is for sure, I'm about to stand up in this line. I got on my comfortable tennis shoes. I got a bottle of water with me, but I probably will not drink anything while I'm standing out here, because I don't know how long I'm going to be standing out here, and I don't want to, okay, lady, I wanted to park right there. Park right here. I don't want to, I don't want to have to go to the bathroom because I've been drinking water. I wonder if she realizes that she's standing in a parking lot. Now she does, because somebody almost ran her over. I wasn't going to be mean like that. Okay, guys, 3 things that you need to make sure you have with you when you go to vote. One is your ID. I know some states say that it's not mandatory that you have an ID, but they ask for it every time, even here where I live. And I think I read somewhere to where they did. It is a law. I'm not positive about that, but I would just bring your ID, because you don't want, this election is so important. You don't want to miss your opportunity to vote over an ID, especially if you have one. Just take the ID with you. Just show it to them, because we want to make sure we get through this process and that our vote is counted. Second thing you need to make sure you have with you is a mask. You definitely need to have your mask with you. This is not the time to say, I don't believe in masks, I got a breathing problem, yada, yada, yada. Then you need to exercise the mail-in ballot option if that's what your situation is, because ain't nobody got time for you to be protesting about a mask right now. We trying to handle business. So get your absentee ballot and move on. Oh, sorry, I just got distracted by some eye candy. Okay. 3, keep your hand sanitizer with you. You don't know what all you're going to be touching on, and then when you get into the ballot area, you may need to wipe some things down. You know, if you don't have a sanitized wipe, then put some hand sanitizer, a good amount, on your hand, and just kind of rub it, you know, on the area or the surfaces where you're going to be touching. So those are the 3 things that you definitely need to make sure you have when you're voting. And make sure you have an umbrella in your car, or, you know, or a jacket in case it's cool or it starts raining. So I'm getting ready to get in the line. So let's go. Okay, guys, I'm getting my umbrella because it looks like it's a little cloudy and it might rain. So I'm getting my umbrella so that if it starts raining, I don't have to worry about getting out the car. And so here we go. if the line is long when you get inside the building. But it looks like the line is moving pretty good. So I'm gonna time how long I'm out here. One thing I'm noticing, as the line gets closer to the building, I don't see a whole lot of social distancing, so that might end up being a challenge. I notice that the people that I am standing out here closest to are practicing social distancing.
You
So
look like one of the guys running for judge.
let's see.
No, seriously. No, I know. No, you kind of favor him just a little bit.
I just realized there's a little bit of a cool breeze, and I left my jacket in the car, and there's actually not any, well, there wasn't anyone behind me, but there's a gentleman walking up, so we'll see. So I have been in line for 15 minutes, and I imagine I probably have another 45 to go before I get to the corner of the building. I'm not sure where that line goes. You probably can't see it very well. The corner of the brown building. I think I have 45 minutes before I get there. I'll keep you posted. So we are moving. I'll keep you posted. I have been in line a total of 30 minutes, and I'm getting closer and closer to the corner. All right, we are moving. Okay, guys. I am almost at the corner of the building, and I've been in line exactly 42 minutes. There's the corner of the building that I kept referring to. It's 42 minutes. And I started back there. So I'm feeling pretty good. So I'm not sure what's around the corner, but we will find out.
That was the last session.
Well, I am at the door. Made it to the door in 50 minutes it took. Okay, guys, it took me exactly 1 hour from start to finish. That was waiting in line, getting inside the building, and casting my vote. It was exactly 1 hour. I was prepared for 2, thankful for 1. So, yeah. And it wasn't bad at all. It was very safe, the way that they did everything. Everything was electronic, and they gave you a stylus to select your vote with, and you kept it. Okay, guys. So everything was really safe the way that they did it. When you came into the door, they only let 10 people in at a time, and to wait in the waiting area, which I didn't end up having to wait, because as soon as I went in, walked through the door and picked up my stylus, the lady was ready for me, so I didn't have to sit in the waiting area. But they gave you a stylist, You handed over your ID to the person that checked you in, basically, and gave you your ballot. And then I went over to the little booth where I did my voting, and everything was electronic, which I don't remember anything being electronic. Seems like last time I remembered using a pencil and having to fill in the little oval thing, like when you had to take those tests back in school. That's what it was last time, but because we're in a pandemic, they made it more safe. So all of your voting was electronic, and they gave you a stylus to use, so you didn't have to touch your screen, and you got to keep the stylus. So yeah, it was a very easy process. I truly recommend that you all get out and vote. I mean, I've heard a saying that says, vote like your life depends on it. So very true. You need to get out and vote. And that was an hour well spent. Again, I was preparing for 2 hours, but it was only an hour, so I'm thankful for that. And it was a very easy process. So now I'm gonna grab something to eat and then head back home and get logged on for work. But yeah, I want to strongly encourage you to get out and vote if you haven't. And remember, I challenged you a little while back to encourage 3 people to go out and vote, and I wanted you to get 3 people who have never voted. I was really surprised at how many people who have never voted. Some of them I understood why they didn't, because they thought they didn't qualify to vote because they had some type of a criminal record, but that's not the case anymore, especially in a lot of states. You can still vote if you are a felon, so you definitely need to check into that. So yeah, I want to encourage you to get out and vote. The process was not bad at all. It was took me an hour. The whole process from the moment I got in line to the moment I cast my vote and came out the building, it was exactly an hour. There are some people that made some sacrifices for some of you to be able to vote. So yes, and your local is really the most important thing. You need to be involved in what's going on in the Senate on a local level, who you're sending to Washington to represent you, because some of the stuff that I have seen this time around has been mind-blowing to me. The whole push to select the federal judge, Supreme Court judge. I just don't get that at all. And how do I even want to get into that on this video? I think I'm not. I think I'm going to save that for another video. In a way, I get both sides of the coin, but just because it goes back to what I've said before. Just because you have the power to do something doesn't mean you should do it. But I'm not even going to get into that in this video in detail. I'm going to do that on a different video. But the thing I am going to say is you need to get out and vote. Some of them folks that have been in office for 1,000 years and have openly admitted to blocking things, anything that has to do with that will affect mainly people of color, there's something wrong with that. I mean, I know it's hard for people to understand and relate to that if they've never experienced it, or they don't know what it's like to be suppressed no matter how hard you try to do the right thing. That just certain things are not made available to you or as easily to you. Case in point, voting. There is all types of voter suppression that's going on. It's not the same version of voter suppression as it was, when our grandparents and great-grandparents were voting, but it exists. You're going to close down all the polling sites in certain parts of town to where everybody has to go to one place. That's a form of voter suppression. Everybody's not going to be able to get in line to vote, or they're going to have to wait a long length of time, which then discourages them from even wanting to vote. So, you know, it still goes on. Voter suppression still goes on. And then I heard about in California where a certain party has put up ballot boxes for people to drop off their ballots. It's not an official ballot box. They've created it themselves. And I don't trust that they're going to handle the ballots correctly. I mean, it's mind-blowing to me that these things are being allowed. Well, I know they're trying not to allow it in California, but you know, they've already said to take it down. But the last I heard or read, they weren't going to take it down. They were leaving it as it is. And it's mind-boggling to me that if some of these things that are being done were done under the previous administration, some people would be in jail. They would have locked some folks up right from the White House. So anyway, I digress. It's important to vote, guys. Get out and vote. Your vote does matter. I've heard people say that. Well, my vote doesn't matter. It's not going to make a difference. I think it's fake. I've heard all kind of stories of people's thoughts when it comes to voting. Put all that aside and get out and vote. Vote your truth, whatever that might be, you know. And just because we may disagree on who to vote for doesn't mean that we can't like each other, support each other, or love on each other. Like I was saying before, our Sunday school lesson was talking about loving your neighbor and the definition of who your neighbor is. It's easy for me to love someone who I get along with or has the same views as me, and you know, we're the same. But it's those unlovelies. That's the real test of love. Can you love the unlovelies? Well, I want to give you a little secret. You have to. No matter how they vote, you got to love them. You have to. That's just the way that God designed it. So anyway, get out and vote. Exercise your right to vote. Don't let anybody take that right away from you. Make sure you take your ID with you, your mask. I saw about 3 people that were in line that did not have their mask on. But I read the sign and you had to have a mask on in order to get into the polling site. So I know for sure one of them put their mask on with no problem. I don't know about the other 2 because they were a little further behind me in line. But hopefully they're going to put their mask on and they're not going to make a scene. Make sure you know what you're voting on, the issues that you're voting on. So anyway, guys, make sure you get out and vote. Do your part. There's somebody counting on you to vote, counting on you to set the example to vote. So if you guys don't agree with the way your elected official from your area is voting and handling the different things that are going on a local, state, and national level, that is a reason for you to get out and vote. You know, there's some folks that have been in Washington for a long, long period of time, and they have made their agenda very clear. And, you know, even if they don't get voted out, you want to take some satisfaction in that you did do your part, that you did try to make a difference. And then don't stop there. When it's primaries again in your local primaries, it's time for your local primaries again, you need to get out and vote again. Keep voting and encourage people to vote, because in all my years, I've never seen such a divide in our country, and just the amount of hate. It's almost like either Pandora's box is opened or somebody's taking a bite of the fruit, because I mean, it is so prevalent. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I didn't think everything was kumbaya in the world and everybody liked everybody, but people had more respect of person to where they kept their beliefs to themselves and they didn't just outright say and do things that they knew were mean and hurtful in spirit. Now it's go for the jugular. It's so cutthroat. It's so, I want you to know how much I don't like you or your race or your beliefs, and I want to hurt you. I want you to be uncomfortable. You know, that is just mean. And it is so hard to watch. Like, I don't even watch the news like I used to, because it's so many horrific stories about hate crimes and, you know, people being violent, and like, it's okay. It's being normalized. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. Being mean and hateful and not showing love is being normalized, and that is not normal. It is okay to have differences, but it's not okay to mistreat each other and be mean and hateful about it. It's just not. And if your congressman or woman is pushing an agenda that supports evil, mean, hate, division, you need to vote them out, unless that's who you are. Now, if that's who you are, the core of who you are, then vote accordingly. And you need to do some self-evaluation of how you deal with humans, because that's just not right. And I find that a lot of people who support that and who are like that, they don't know what it's like to be treated that way. They have no clue. So they don't know what it is to be on the receiving end of such hate, and it's not good. And so, yeah, we really need to check that, because it's just gotten out of control, and I really hate to see what's going to happen during the election. Either way it goes, I just feel like it's going to be, we just got to do some praying. We really do. We've got to get back to the America that I've known, you know, my young adult life, child life. Like, I've never seen such hateful behavior. And I'm just ready for some peace. However it goes, I just want peace. I want us to get back to love, inclusion, tolerance, understanding. You know, if you don't like my race, I really would like to know why. What happened to you personally that makes you put everybody that's African American in one bucket of hate? There's some serious conversations that need to take place. Some economic fairness needs to take place. It's just a lot. America needs a lot of work, and we need people in office who know that America needs a lot of work and is willing to work for everyone in America, and not just a certain demographic, class, or race. Everybody deserves what America has to offer. Period. That's just how I feel. Okay, guys, I'm back home. I finished my voting process. I went and grabbed me something to eat. I'm going to have an early lunch, and then I'm going to log on for work. But I just want to, again, encourage you to get out and vote, no matter which way you're going to vote. Exercise your right, your privilege to vote. I went out and I early voted. I didn't want to do it on election day. And again, you know, like you already know, it took me a full hour from beginning to end to finish the process. So, anywho, get out and vote, and comment below. Let me know how long or what your experience was, how long it took you to get through the whole process. And if you encounter any issues while you were there, again, remember to take your ID with you, your mask, and your hand sanitizer. Although the polling place that I went to had a lot of sanitizer strategically placed, so I didn't even have to use my own personal hand sanitizer. So anyway, guys, I want to thank those who are new to the channel. Welcome. If you're not new to the channel, welcome back. How have you been? Click the like button and the subscribe button. We're still trying to grow our subscribers on this channel. I appreciate my supporters who have been rocking with me from day one. And helping me to grow the channel. We talk about all types of different things on this channel, whether it's politics, what's going on in the news, shopping, food, relationship stuff. Definitely talk a lot of spiritual stuff because that's just the makeup of who I am. But we have a variety of topics that we talk about. We even do some cooking. There's this new recipe I'm thinking about trying out, and I'm thinking about vlogging it. So yeah, if you're not a current subscriber, please do so by clicking the subscribe button. And most of all, I need you to share the video so that we can let everybody know what we're doing over here on this channel. Yeah, I'm going to get out of here. But before I do, I want to leave you with this. Remember, the plans for your life have already been designed. It's just up to you to trust the planner. Have a good one, everybody.